Yes. Yeah. Okay. Welcome back. Pulling legs. Fun session, but very taxing. Very similar to the other leg session in terms of it just absolutely destroys me. So yeah, this will be fun. Already done my ab work to start off. The kneeling ab crunch. Main sort of cues there are really push the sets and go for a full range of motion. That's where people generally go wrong, is not fully, lengthening the spine and contracting. So I think that's where the main problem lies. And then also, people generally don't push them quite far enough, as in they'll start feeling their abs, and that's when they think they're done. It's the same with any muscle group. You really have to push it, and yeah, people just don't push it in the same way that they do with other stuff. So I suppose have a bit of pride about the way you train every muscle group rather than just the big ones, I guess. 15 for 8. Alright, let's get this. This is arguably the most sort of important session of the week in terms of fixing weak points and really building up my posterior chain, which is where a lot of people sort of lack. But mine's specific to my hamstrings been really crap. So that's why these are really important, trying to push them, but also control them. So I'll take, I would have said that was 2 partials there. And then I'll try and sort of match on, well, that's my weak side. That's a big thing. Doing weak side first and then try and sort of match it on this side. Just get it right. But that felt really good. Really try and sort of control the whole thing. Rather than just thinking about like time, I think about control and sort of feeling all of the sensations that come with it. So the stretch, the squeeze, especially with something as weak as my hamstrings, I think it's important to build that up before trying to build up all the strength. I neglected hamstrings for a long time, which is why they're so bad. Plus, 2 pretty big knee surgeries, which just sort of ruined them for 2 years straight. But we're trying to fix them now, so. It's flipping loud in here again, making this difficult, eh? Let's get a back down set going. So, as with a lot of stuff, I prefer to do a top and a back down set. It's just a personal preference thing, because I find it easy to track progress that way. Gives me a little bit more focus in my sets as well, which is the top and back down sets really allow for more focus and more, a lot more prioritization of progress. As in, it's so dead easy to know exactly what you have to hit in terms of what I did last week and what I have to do this week. And because it's so specific to each set, it's just really easy to track. But to be honest, 2 sets on most things to failure is enough. It doesn't have to be top and back. I suppose just work hard enough and try and progress. The top and back just helps me progress. Or Focus on focus. Oh, that's good. Sorry, I enjoyed that. Really got to try and sort of focus on having like your torso engaged. Try and minimize like additional movement, whether that's like it almost like the pelvis. Just try and drag with the heels and keep the knee stable. Right, it's the first of the back movements. It's a good one, to be fair. Nice like isolation movement. That's good. So I've got this for 9 last week. I'm going for 10 now. Far out. Ah, damn. All right. Not ideal, but no, that felt really good, to be fair. Really trying to focus on chest up, just dragging down. There's a slight turn in my wrist, but not a lot. And then drag elbow down and sort of like loop it round. Feels really good, to be fair. That's tough. Throughout this session particularly is having sort of contrasting sets. In terms of one set will be paused and one set will sort of be just a standard set. You see that through the single arm pull down where the first set is paused, really exaggerating the stretch and the lengthening of the lat, pausing there and then driving my elbow down, and that's worked really well for me and has allowed me to really focus on the set there and focus on the sensation of that. And then I follow that up with a standard set where it's a little bit more free and I'm sort of just focusing on sort of pumping blood there as opposed to being really meticulous with my set, especially since the first set is paused. The sort of movement pattern is going to be really nailed down, which is pretty ideal. Straight after that, we're into barbell RDLs, sort of combining the hamstring and the back work together. This is an absolute killer of an exercise. Awesome. I'm a massive fan of this. It's sort of been a staple in my training for the last 2 to 3 years. Thoroughly enjoy it. Get a good engagement with my hamstrings, but then sort of just fires up my entire back, which is ideal. Really trying to focus on keeping my upper back tight,
almost pulling my shoulder blades back and down to help engage my lats a bit and sort of just build stability so that when I'm at the bottom I don't get too loose. I also like to think about having my knees directly in front of my toes. Something that I actually think about is almost bringing my knees together, which stops them flaring out but doesn't actually cause them to sort of cave in together, which is pretty perfect. I worked up to a set of 190, as I did 180 for a set of 10 the previous week. I was like, take a load increase. So here it is.
Come on then. Yeah, come on. Why? Why? Come on. Yes. Far out. Aye. Got 145 for 11. 150 for 11. Come on then. Why? Why? Why?
Second set is paused, but
Shit.
I wasn't particularly happy with the consistency of the pauses. I also kept touching the bottom, which was quite irritating, but to be honest, I was pretty happy with both sets, as they were both weight increases, so that's pretty ideal. But the same cues apply: pushing the hips back, keeping the knees loose, I'd say, rather than really stiff. Just focus on trying to stretch my hamstrings as much as possible, keep my chest up and upper back as tight as it can be, but it's bound to sort of loosen as the set goes on, just as it's struggling to hold it up. But straight after RDLs, we're into the next back focused movement with T-bar rows. A good movement to sort of just focus on moving the scapulars. I do allow my chest to come off the pad a little bit, but it's something that just helps get that end range. The pad is a bit of a lifesaver. I'm not sure whether it's just for this T-bar row, but you do get some squash plums, I think is a nice way of phrasing it. So putting that there sort of just protects yourself, which is nice. Again, top set and back off set. Top set being sort of continuous, really focusing on the stretch though, and then the second set being more paused. For the leg press sets, in this session I really try and think about almost sensation and controlling the eccentric through feeling the stretch. And then on the other leg day, I sort of focus more on sort of weight I can push. As both sets are the same through both sessions, as in top set is continuous, back off set is paused. It's nice to have a slightly different sort of focus. I wasn't happy with my top set here, just because the range of motion wasn't as good as it could have been, and you'll see on my back off set what my potential range of motion is. Then again, the effort is always sort of there with these sets, so I can't complain too much. With the back off set, that's almost ideal in terms of the range of motion, the control, the pauses were spot on, and then also the sort of continuous nature of the set, as opposed to on my first set where I'll do a rep, try and get my breath again. I'm really locked into breathing in as my knees bend, bracing as my knees are coming down, and then forcing my breath out sort of as they straighten. It is absolutely killer, and learning the breathing technique is key. We've had this in twice a week for over 6 months now, and I'm only just starting to get into the hang of the sort of breathing technique. And I still can't do it on my top sets, but hey, that's not something I'm particularly worried about. But as long as I can nail it on my back offs, I'm more than happy. We do have seated hamstring curls in again. But this session, there's only one set, and I focus on leaning back. This is mainly just to have something a little bit different, a slightly different sensation, and a slightly different focus. I take as many partials as I can in this set, because obviously it's only one set, so I can drive for that as much as I want. And it feels good. I try and really emphasize the range of motion with these sets. I'm happy with it.
Oh my word.
The last set of the session is quad extensions. This is something that I've sort of had to relearn a little bit in terms of how I execute it, and sort of my thought process is going into the set. So I used to be very focused on just trying to drive as much weight as I could, whereas now I'm thinking about more sensation, trying to keep my butt on the pad as much as possible. It's never going to be perfect, but just because for some reason I can't get it perfect. Maybe I will one day, but right now it's not. But I'm really trying to focus on getting a solid range of motion, good control, and stretching as much as possible, hence why the back pad is as far as it can be. Again, it's only one set here, so really driving for as many partials as possible. And it's a lot of pain, It's a good pain. So yeah, again, a little bit modified with the mat. Could probably stick 2 mats in there and get a little bit more range, but it's difficult to set up. Anyway, finished off with some posing. Nice. Definitely a little bit leaner. Well, I'd hope so. 3 kilos down. I'm happy. Session's finished. Really good session. Thoroughly enjoyed it. A lot of progress. There were some exercises I wasn't particularly happy with in terms of execution, but they were just one set type things that one set went badly and then the following one was executed properly. I'm sure I talked about that. But to be honest, like, I'm very productive, very happy with what I did. Hamstrings, obviously the priority of the session, and they went really well. Like all hamstring sets. Single leg felt awesome actually. RDLs progressed massively, and then so hopefully I can just sort of keep around that 180, 190. I don't see the point in trying to push for like 200. That's looking at weights that I didn't hit at sort of max body weight for an RDL, so I'm not sort of thinking about doing that now, especially since the weight's just slowly going to peel off. So if I can stick around these numbers, very, very happy. 190 was, I think that might actually be the best I've ever done with 190. It was a set of 8, I think. So maybe next week 9 or 10, and then just sort of just stick around there. I don't want to bite off too much. The last time I did that, ended up with a back snappage. So I'm not sure whether I'll put that in this video, but to be honest, like I'll take that where it is. Really happy with the session. Yeah, just really enjoyed it. Hopefully I'll bring you probably later on this week for another chest session, my second chest session, and then I think I will have actually done all of the sessions. Yeah, I think I will have covered all of my sessions, so that'll be nice. And yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this video. If there's anything in particular you want to see, I do want to do like a full day of eating, so that will be coming soon. And sort of like a day in the life type thing, as I think it can be interesting. Sort of uni student doing bodybuilding is an interesting contrast. But no, there was lots there. I also noticed that I say but no a lot. I'll probably cut it out a fair amount of times because I find it annoying to hear. So yeah, there's that. But to be honest, like, really happy with where everything's at, especially considering, like I said, I'm 3 kilos down from the start of prep. So that's flipping good. Not even 3 weeks in and 3 kilos down. So hopefully we can sort of just keep the nice momentum rolling, and we'll see where we end up. But no, I did it again. What an idiot. Okay, well, I hope you enjoyed this video. Like, comment, subscribe, all of that. And I'll see you in the next one. Thank you. Goodbye now.